every generation, every group, every society, there's different things, different opportunities, and different moments that come into your life. And when you look back at those moments, whether they're in your childhood as an individual or in your youth or wherever they may be, those moments in your life are such that you don't want to pass them on, and you don't want to miss them. And I believe that the Explore Islam 1000 Towns campaign that's been launched by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association is one such of those initiatives.
चांद और सूरज ने दी जिसकी शहादत जिंदाबाद 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 जिंदा ओ पायंदाबाद.
Today, we're here speaking about the Explore Islam 1000 Towns campaign.
The purpose was that Hazur had given us this instruction to reach out to small towns. While you're living in these corporate cities, people are more towards the worldly things. And when you go outwards into small towns, then you realize that they have more inclination towards God.
This was an initiative launched by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association, and the intention of this campaign and this initiative was to spread the message of Islam and Ahmadiyyat to the corners of this beautiful country.
It's not only the tabligh that we are benefiting from this campaign, it's also a tarbiyat part attached to it. While you are doing tabligh near to your house, that's only a tabligh activity when you go outside and spend some time. But when you go out for do waqf-e arzi and you go like maybe for 1500 kilometers or 1400 kilometers just for a tabligh purpose and you are staying there for a week or so, staying with Khuddam brothers, you are traveling with them. So that company also affects you positively. So our Khuddam were in that environment for weeks for this campaign, and Alhamdulillah, our Khuddam went to different remote towns like Inuvik and Nova Scotia and also Sudbury, different towns that they have visited. And they have done the Waqf-e Arzi. They have traveled maybe 2,500 kilometers.
We know that by the grace of Allah, the Jamaat has been in Canada for over 50 years now. And we felt like there was a need to take this beautiful message and go into the remote towns, go into the suburbs, go into these small villages and places where the message of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had not yet reached in an effective way. So in light of this, we shortlisted a set of towns that are all across Canada, coast to coast, and determined how we can best reach out to the people.
So we have experienced over the period that whenever a khadim involves in a tabligh activity, automatically he starts reflecting upon himself as well. Because that's how you can get the results as well. That's what we are saying to others. And then the moment you also reading that teaching of the Prophet ﷺ that you want to present to the outsider, then you reflect on those teachings as well. And it gives you an opportunity to reform yourself.
And the results from this so far, by the grace of Allah, have been very awe-inspiring. Alhamdulillah, to date, we've now covered close to 400 towns. And this is something that can only be done based on the level of effort that the local leaders of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association have put into this initiative.
And if you have those qualities within you, then you have that firm conviction while talking to someone. If you are just like repeating the words and you do not believe on that, and you have not seen that God, or if you have not experienced that, definitely your words won't be that strong. So if you want to impact someone's life, first of all, you have to experience yourself. And that's what's the most important thing.
So to take the message of Islam in 1,000 towns requires a lot of planning and a lot of resources. And so this was an initiative that required every single member of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat and Youth Association to get out of their homes and to go out and do these trips and travel the distance to spread the message of Allah.
You have given us again and again reminding us that you are the ambassador of Jamaat Ahmadiyya. Wherever you go, either at your workplaces, universities, colleges, or any tabligh campaign that you run, wherever like you're spending your time, you are the ambassador of Jamaat. So with your actions, you have to convince someone.
We once went to a remote town named Halliburton, and in that town, there's a couple sitting in the park, and we had a chance to speak with them. They called us over. We sat with them for 25 minutes, and they learned so much about the Jamaat, about the promised Messiah Islam, and about the teachings of Islam and how they compare to other world religions. And they were very moved by them. And one thing that was notable that they mentioned was that they like how Islam stands for the truth and stands for things that it believes in.
So this is the teaching of Islam, and it's very beautiful teaching. Once you try to follow the teaching, you will see the impact on your surrounding as well.
When you're distributing flyers and you're speaking to these individuals, more often than not, they give you a lot of time. They sit there or they stand there, they take the flyer, they read it, while they're with you, and they appreciate everything that you have to say, and more importantly, they listen. And they listen very carefully.
I went to Sudbury when Khudam were there while doing the tabligh, and they were there for a week or so. And when I went there just to meet our Khudam brothers, they were very young Khudam, and they are very motivated. And it gives me so much joy that while you see that, they have that firm conviction in their mind when they are talking, and you get surprised too that young Khadim who is in maybe 11th or 12th grade, or maybe he's like early in the Jamia as well. So they have this firm conviction, they have the knowledge as well, and they have firm belief that we are on the right path.
So that's something that we found, that a lot of our youth were actually, it took them to another level, because typically you hand a flyer and off to the races. But in this case, people are sitting there, standing there, stopping by and asking you directly what you believe in. There have been many different organizations that have also been inspired by the work done by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association. So one of the open houses we held in Northern Ontario, there was the various members of the York Regional Police that attended the Explore Islam open house. And they were so moved by the level of organization and the display of information that they asked to hold an Explore Islam exhibition in their own headquarters. And so then we had an Explore Islam exhibition in which hundreds of police officers during a working day attended and learned about the different initiatives and activities about the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association, and also learned about Islam. And a lot of them had different questions about women's rights and violence, extremism, justice, different things that relate to their profession as well. And it was something that allowed us to make even further relationships and build stronger ties with some of these members. This, in a nutshell, is some of the most important aspects of the Explore Islam campaign. By the grace of Allah, in just this year alone, over 2,500 Muslim youth from across Canada have been involved in this initiative, and we've leveraged and utilized the entire infrastructure of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association to visit these towns all across Canada, and by the grace of Allah, we've seen a good response.
We have seen that the positive change in the Khudam, and they were very much motivated. They were willing to go again in those towns, and inshallah, as soon as we complete our target for 1,000 towns, we will again repeat this exercise, because this was the instruction again that Hazur, that once you visit a town, do not leave that town. You have to visit that town again and again. So inshallah, we'll be visiting those towns again soon.
अहमदियत जिंदाबाद, अहमदियत जिंदाबाद, अहमदियत जिंदाबाद, अहमदियत जिंदाबाद, अहमदियत जिंदाबाद.